You are going to get old. I know you do not think about it. I know you assume you will figure it out when you get there. But you will not figure it out. You will stumble into it the same way I did, the same way everyone does, completely unprepared for what your own body and your own world are about to do to you. I am 85 years old. I spent 38 years as a hospice nurse watching people die. I have held more hands at the end than most people shake in a lifetime. And nothing, absolutely nothing I witnessed in all those years prepared me for what it feels like to be on this side of it. So before you scroll away to watch something easier, let me tell you what is coming for you. Not because I want to scare you, but because I wish somebody had told me. The first harsh reality is that your body shrinks. And I do not mean metaphorically. I mean literally shrinks. I used to be 5 feet 6 inches tall. I remember standing up straight next to my husband on our wedding day, thinking how perfectly we fit together. I am now barely 5 feet 4 inches. My spine has compressed. The cartilage between my vertebrae has worn away. I have lost 2.5 inches of myself. And let me tell you something they do not put in the pamphlets at the doctor's office. When your body shrinks, so does your presence in the world. You take up less space. You weigh less. You become easier to overlook, easier to move aside, easier to forget is standing there. My grandson hugged me last Christmas, and I felt like a sparrow in his arms. I used to be the one who held people up. Now I am the one who might blow away. Women lose more height than men do. Look it up. By 80, the average woman has lost 3 inches. 3 inches of who she used to be, measured out and taken away centimeter by centimeter. And it is not just height. My hands cannot grip a jar lid anymore. I cannot carry my own groceries in one trip. I used to lift patients, reposition bodies, work 12-hour shifts on my feet. Now I get winded walking to the mailbox. Your body does not fail all at once. It does not give you the dignity of a clean break. It just slowly, quietly, persistently becomes less. The second harsh reality is that you become invisible. And I do not mean people are rude to you, although sometimes they are. I mean you actually stop registering in their vision. I was at the pharmacy last month, and the young man behind the counter looked right through me to help the woman in her 40s who had walked up behind me. He did not even see me. I was standing there holding my prescription, and he looked at me like I was furniture. A survey found that 70% of women feel invisible as they age. 70%. The world that used to watch you, evaluate you, desire you, fear you, need you, that world eventually stops seeing you at all. You become scenery. You become something people walk around on the sidewalk without thinking about. You become old. The third harsh reality is that you outlive everyone you ever loved. My husband Tommy died 7 years ago. My best friend since nursing school, Patricia, died in 2021. My brother passed in 2018. My neighbor Helen, who I used to have coffee with every Tuesday morning, gone in 2023. I am running out of people who remember the person I used to be. I am running out of people who can say, "Remember when we did this or that?" I am becoming the last witness to my own history. And let me tell you something about widowhood that nobody warns women about. Over 40% of women over 65 are widows. 40% of us are going through this. And yet somehow, each of us feels completely alone in it. I was Tommy's wife for 56 years. I was his caregiver for the last 6 of those years, when the Parkinson's took him away piece by piece. I bathed him. I fed him. I held him when he forgot who I was. And when he finally died, I thought the worst was over. I was wrong. The worst is every night since. The worst is reaching across the bed in the dark and finding nothing. The worst is cooking for one. The fourth harsh reality is that fear of falling controls your entire life. I fell in my kitchen in 2022. Just lost my balance reaching for something in the cabinet. Went down hard on the tile and broke my wrist. Do you know what it does to a person to become afraid of her own floor? Now I think about falling constantly. I think about it when I get out of bed. I think about it in the shower. I think about it going down the porch steps to get the mail. Studies show that fear of falling affects up to 70% of older adults who have fallen. And here is the cruel part. The fear itself makes you more likely to fall. You tense up. You restrict your movement. You stop walking naturally. You become the fragile thing you were afraid of becoming. I used to dance with my husband in the kitchen. Now I shuffle across it with one hand on the counter. The fifth harsh reality is that your children become your parents. I raised 3 children, changed their diapers, sat up with them when they had fevers, taught them to drive, paid for their weddings. And now they look at me with this expression I recognize from my own face, that worried, watchful look I used to give my patients' families. My son Tom keeps sending me brochures for assisted living facilities. My daughter Peggy calls every single morning at 7:30 to make sure I am still alive. And I know they love me. I know they are scared of losing me. But do you know what it feels like to have your own children talk about you in the other room like you cannot hear them? Do you know what it feels like to have them take your car keys and say, "We will talk about this later," like you are a teenager who stayed out past curfew? I spent my whole life being the caregiver, the strong one, the one who knew what to do. Now I am the problem they are trying to solve. The sixth harsh reality is the constant terror of being a burden. Nearly half of aging parents say they worry about being a burden to their children. Half of us are walking around with this weight on our chests, this fear that we are ruining their lives by continuing to live ours. Every time my daughter drives 45 minutes to bring me groceries, I think about the gas money. Every time my son takes time off work to drive me to an appointment, I think about the promotion he might not get. Every time one of them cancels plans because they are worried about me, I think maybe it would be easier for everyone if I just were not here anymore. I do not mean I want to die. I mean, I wish I did not require so much. I wish I could go back to being the mother who gives instead of the mother who takes. I spent 38 years telling dying patients that they were not burdens, that their families wanted to be there, that needing care is not a moral failure. I believed it when I said it. I am having trouble believing it now that I am the one who needs. The seventh harsh reality is that loneliness is not about how many people are in your life. Loneliness is about nighttime. I have 3 children who call me, 6 grandchildren who send me pictures, 3 great-grandchildren who wave at me on video calls. I am not isolated. I am not forgotten. And I am still lonelier than I have ever been in my life. Because loneliness is not about head count. Loneliness is about 3 in the morning when you cannot sleep and there is no one in the house to tell. Loneliness is about eating dinner in silence with the television on just so you can hear a human voice. Loneliness is about that moment between turning off the lamp and falling asleep, when the quiet becomes so loud it hurts. I had a patient once, a woman in her 90s, who told me, "The nights are so long now." I did not understand what she meant until Tommy died. Now I understand. The nights are so long now. The 8th harsh reality is that your mind plays tricks on you, and every trick terrifies you. I forgot my neighbor's name last week. I have known her for 12 years, and I stood there on my own front porch with my mouth open, trying to remember what to call her. It came back to me an hour later. It was Sharon. But for that hour, I was convinced I was losing my mind. Memory slips are normal at any age. But when you are 85, every memory slip feels like a warning sign. 2 of my closest friends died with dementia. I watched them disappear into themselves. I held their hands when they did not know who I was anymore. So when I walk into a room and forget why I went in there, I do not just shrug it off the way you might. I stand there frozen, wondering if this is it, if this is the beginning, if my mind is starting to leave me the way it left them. I keep a notepad by my bed now. I write everything down, not because I need to, but because I am afraid of what it would mean if I forgot. The 9th harsh reality is that you have to plan your own ending. I have a living will. I have a do not resuscitate order. I have told my children exactly what I want and what I do not want. I have picked out the dress I want to be cremated in. A blue one, Tommy always said, made my eyes look pretty. I have written letters to each of my grandchildren that my daughter will give them after I am gone. I have done all of this not because I am morbid, but because I spent 38 years watching families fall apart because nobody talked about death until death was in the room. I know what happens when you do not have these conversations. I know what happens when your children have to guess what you would have wanted. So I have told them. I do not want to be kept alive by machines. I do not want extraordinary measures. I want to die at home if I can. I want my ashes scattered in the garden where Tommy and I used to sit on summer evenings. And I want them to know that I am not afraid of dying. I am afraid of suffering. I am afraid of forgetting who they are. I am afraid of becoming someone they have to take care of instead of someone they want to visit. Death is not the enemy. I learned that in hospice. Suffering is the enemy. Loss of dignity is the enemy. Being a body in a bed instead of a person with a story, that is what I am afraid of. So there it is, 9 harsh realities. 9 things nobody tells you about being 85 years old and female in a world that has mostly stopped seeing you. I am not telling you this to make you sad. I am telling you this because you are going to be here someday. Maybe not 85 exactly, maybe 90, maybe 70. But you are going to find yourself standing in a body that does not work the way it used to, surrounded by people who treat you differently than they did when you were younger, facing questions you never thought you would have to answer. And when that day comes, I want you to know you are not alone. Here is what they do not tell you, though. They do not tell you that there is something that happens when you finally accept that your body is failing and your time is short. Something like peace. Not happiness exactly, but peace. I do not worry about my career anymore because I do not have one. I do not worry about what people think of me because most of them do not think of me at all. I do not worry about mistakes I might make in the future because there is not that much future left. I watch the birds at my feeder in the morning, and I actually see them. I taste my coffee instead of just drinking it. I call my grandchildren not because I should, but because I want to hear their voices. I stopped rushing about 30 years too late, but I finally stopped. And that has to count for something. If you are young, call your mother, call your grandmother. Not because you feel guilty, but because someday you will wish you had more memories of their voices. And if you are old, if you are sitting there nodding along because you know exactly what I am talking about, I see you. You are not invisible to me. We are not invisible to each other. That has to count for something too.